What's going on, guys? Johnny GB here, bringing you my Week 10 PMC battle. We are taking on the Sydney Krookodiles and their coach Sharpino. Now, you guys may not have seen a team builder. That is because I actually did not do any prep this week. I played this battle almost I would say one day after our defeat to Dallas Star U in Week 9, and I kind of just didn't get the time to prep a team and gen a team. So as you guys see on the screen, we have Klefki, Magneton, Charizard, Tyranitar, Sock, and our Slowbro. We're going against a pretty bulky team, as he has Dragalge, Suicune, Krookodile, Mega Sableye, Celebi, Uxie. So a lot of bulk, and then you got Krookodile there to clean it up. I don't know what I was going in expecting this battle. I didn't know what type of sets he'd bring. So here he's going to lead off Uxie. I'm going to lead off with Kaki's the Klefki. And I saw no hazard removal on his side of the field, so I just set up spikes. If I can have more of his Pokemon take residual damage through spikes, it'd be the best option for me to help clean up sweep late game, as the computer's lagging a little bit. Alright, come on. There we go. So there's going to be a little bit of lag there. So he did end up getting his Stealth Rocks up. I got 2 layers of spikes, as he does show the Fire Punch. So my opponent was prepared for this Klefki versus Uxie matchup. Also, possibly for my Excadrill and Tangela. So good prep on my opponent's part. I do get the 3rd layer of spikes up now, which is very important here, as he is going to U-turn out. And I believe he goes out into his Sableye here. Now, I know I can't do much to Sableye. I can't Toxic it because of Magic Bounce. And the only other move I have is Dazzling Gleam and Magnet Rise. Magnet Rise for the Krookodile. So here, Sharpino's going to Mega Evolve. And he does set up a Calm Mind here, which is actually very good on his part. It shows me that he's probably Calm Mind, recover 2 attacks. As I'm going to go for the Dazzling Gleam, and this is actually going to do a fair amount. Considering that he is +1, it does a decent chunk of damage here. Now, I'm going to withdraw my Klefki because I'm really predicting him to recover this turn, and I'm going to go for my Tyranitar. I'm Lumberry Tyranitar, so I want to see how much damage I'm able to do, not to mention Sandstorm damage will be able to chip away at Sableye. Now, I considered bringing Special Tyranitar, but I just didn't get that time to prep. So I'm going to go for a Crunch here. We're going to see that this does very little, as he's going to go for a Will-O-Wisp here. I will pop my Lumberry right here, so we still have a healthy T-Tar in the back. Now, again, I'm predicting another recover here at this point. I'm trying to remember what I switched into. Okay, yeah, so I go to my Charizard here. It is my Wall Breaker. I'm going to take the 50% to Rocks, as he's going to recover. Now, I know he doesn't think he can switch in safely to anything, and this is a play where I really regret not just attacking. I'm going to Mega Evolve here. You see our Charizard Y, so we do have dual weather this week. We're going to go for the Roost here, as I believe he shows Dark Pulse or Shadow Ball, one of the 2 moves right here. So he's going to show Dark Pulse, and this actually brings us right back down to half. Now he withdraws his Sableye, and I believe he goes to his Dragalge. I'm I am packing the Earthquake this week. So I wanted to see how much Earthquake would do, and it did 62% to a Dragalge, so I was in range of Earthquake killing. So perfect spot there. Charizard's going to pick up a KO on Dragalge, as Charizard now has a solid start. Here he goes into Suicune, and this is where I really mess up. I didn't know what Suicune would do. I calced it, and it was about 85% for a physically defensive Suicune to take from a Solar Beam. Here he shows that he's specially defensive as that Suicune ate it up, and then shows the Mirror Coat. So right now I'm in actually a lot of trouble. I mean, again, this is just the second week in a row I have been out-prepped. So I'm going to go out to my Magneton here, and he's going to withdraw his Suicune as he goes out to Krookodile. Now, I wanted to HP Ice. I really did. I just didn't trust my instincts on this play. And now I go out into, I believe, my Slowbro, trying to see if he's Scarf Moxie. Oh no, I go out to my Sock, yeah. That's right. So this is our sturdy Sock. I was really predicting him to go for a Crunch. But then again, my Charizard's gone, so he has no reason to not go for Earthquake. So I go out to my Slowbro here, trying to see if he is locked into Earthquake. As he does show the Earthquake there. And Slowbro is able to eat it up. We are Assault-vested Slowbro. So he's going to send out a Celebi. I went for the Ice Beam this turn because it hit his Celebi, which was a switch-in. It also hit his Krookodile. So you're going to see this Ice Beam. It's going to do a fair amount to this Celebi here. Now, I stayed in because I thought after Giga Drain, Ice Beam had a chance to kill. It did 65%, especially after the Life Orb recoil, and I ended up getting a low roll. So, really forced to have to switch out now and go out into my Magneton. As he makes a great play, he reads it like a book, goes for the Earth Power, and I honestly, again, my ground switch-ins after Charizard went down did not exist. Celebi's going to fall to leftover, or Life Orb, and we're sitting here at a, I believe it's a 4-4 game. He's going to go out to his Krookodile here, as I go out to my Klefki, and I'm going to just Magnet Rise at this point. That way his Earthquakes cannot do anything. I break through Paralysis. So now I'm actually in a fairly good spot, actually. I'm gaining HP back. He's forced to go out into either Suicune or into his... trying to think, his Uxie. Blanked on the name here. Here I went for a Toxic, and I ended up getting paralyzed, and I was extremely worried that he was Rest Protect. I was really worried about Rest. Instead, he just goes for a Scald here, which thankfully he did. I'm going to go for the Dazzling Gleam, and Klefki will take out Suicune. So, actually, now I believe it's 4-4. So, I mean, right now we were sitting pretty. We did lose Charizard, which is just a real shame, because it does so much to his team. Here he's going to bring out his Uxie. I'm going to get paralyzed. This was the turn I went for a Toxic, which is very important on this Uxie because it is very bulky. This was a specially defensive Uxie. So I'm in just a ton of trouble. So I'm going to switch out to my T-Tar. Or no, go out to my Slowbro, predicting it. Now, I know my Slowbro can eat up hits from this thing. So you're going to see this Fire Punch does 7 damage. So I know I can fire off Scalds, I can fire off Ice Beams, Shadow Balls, and Shadow Ball is actually the play I make here, and you're going to see the Shadow Ball do very little damage to this Yuxi. To the point that it was practically negative damage to it. So I'm going to go out to my Tyranitar predicting another Fire Punch. And instead he goes for the U-turn, which is going to do a decent amount to my Tyranitar. Now this gives him a free switch into Krookodile, and at this point I have nothing to go out into Krookodile. I just lose to it at this point. So here I'm just going to sack off my Tyranitar. That's all I could have done there. And we're just going to skip forward here to the end of the battle as my 3DS is about to die. Come on, don't die on me. Don't die on me. Don't die on me. Come on. So pretty much what happens here at this point in the battle is... Yep, there goes my 3DS. So after he takes out my Tyranitar, he gets the Moxie boost. I send out my Slowking, and that ends up... Or not my Slowking, my Slowbro. That ends up dying to Earthquake. He goes +2. Then I finally send in my Klefki, which I should have done in the first place. I go for a Magnet Rise. I end up getting paralyzed, and that ends up being the game. Nothing I can do. I mean, my opponent out-prepped me. Second week in a row, I've just been dominated on the prep end. The Mirror Coat Suicune, again, my fault. Did not take the time to see what Suicune can get, why he would send it in versus my Charizard. I did have the option to roost there to scout to see what he was going to do. Then I could have played with some Earthquake shenanigans and just really weakened him and then gone for Solar Beam. But hindsight's 20/20. I mean, Sharpino, I mean, I cannot stress it enough. He just destroyed me in prep. Hands down. And it's something I'm going to need to fix. The Duckletts fall to 6-4. We can throw away winning the division at this point and just hope for one of the 2 wildcard spots for playoffs. And then once playoffs comes, we regroup and we finish up strong and try to win. But if you guys enjoyed this battle, don't forget to leave a like on the video, comment, and subscribe to the channel. I'm Johnny GB, and I'm out.